I just had a massive life change. I finished my Navy commitment and I am diving into the civilian world. I wanted an adventure before starting the next chapter, a moment where the only person I was responsible for was myself. I chose Iceland because it's one of the safest countries in the world, a place where a woman can fly solo without looking over her shoulder, a place to be free. At least, that was the plan. As a solo female traveler, you're taught to calculate risk every time you leave your hotel. So, I brought my own rules, a manual rental car, and my map, thinking as long as I was in the driver's seat, I was in control.
Welcome to the Ion Adventure Hotel. Let's do a room tour. Once you walk in, you got the bathroom. My favorite feature, these are actually heated. Sink, got your nice amenities, complimentary glass of sparkling wine upon check-in, toilet, and the shower with the nice transparent wall to the bedroom. I believe this is a joined room, so I have these keys here, so if they try to break in, the keys will jingle. More closet, storage for the spa, bedroom area, TV, kind of off-centered from the bed. That's kind of strange. Mini bar, coffee station, and the best part of the room, the patio. Let's film before it gets too dark. The northern lights come out, I'll be ready. And this hotel has a hot tub and sauna that I can go enjoy before dinner in my robe. I like this better than the onsens in Japan because I can wear a bathing suit.
Hello? Good evening, Miss Vegan. The northern lights are out. Thank you. With the rental car, I was soaking up every second of being my own captain. This was the first waterfall of the trip, and I was already spoiled. I can't believe I just found it on the side of the road.
Iceland knows the key to my heart. Look at this. Collagen energy drink. So I got the car that was the absolute cheapest. Sedan, manual, cheapest. And I'm on the gravel road, and maybe I should have splurged and gotten a car that was better for gravel. This is River Foss. It's less popular than the other waterfalls in Vancouver National Park. It's still very popular. I could see why on such a nice time of day like today, there'd be a lot of people here because it's such a great spot. The water is a pretty blue color. I waited in line for a photo. It was worth it.
I honestly thought these 2 days would be the peak of my trip, and that once I joined the tour bus, the real adventure would be over, because I had to choose. I could have the thrill of having a beautiful place to myself, or I could stay safe. All suited up to swim between continents. This is the Silfra Fissure. Believe it or not, it was only about 4 p.m. when we swam, and the sun was already going down.
It's not that bad.
Then my GoPro died, so I only have photos. Easily the clearest and coldest water I have ever swam in. It was magical.
Swimming in the water today was so amazing. It was the clearest water I've ever swam in. I was really nervous at the start that it would be super cold, but as soon as I got in the water and I put my face in and I saw the beautiful clear water, I did not feel cold anymore.
I checked out of the hotel and started driving back to Reykjavik. It's funny, I chose Iceland for safety, but the wilderness is very unsafe. I had no problems with my rental car, but I was very aware of how easy it is to be stranded out here. Next stop, Blue Lagoon. I needed some hot water after swimming in that freezing water yesterday.
Got the mud mask. I'm gonna use the camera as my mirror. This water's cold, oh my god. No, the plus is
The white mud mask is amazing. I bought it and linked it below.
Good morning. It is 8:14 in the morning. The sun comes up so late here in the winter time in Iceland. About to board the whale tour.
This whale was so cute. He slept the whole tour.
I'm amazed. This whale is so chill. He's just sleeping.
Yeah, it's a very sleepy humpback whale. But they don't sleep like we do. They do it very differently. Oh.
I just went inside. There's no stained glass windows. It's very gray in there, and this is just me blabbing off. I actually think it's very beautiful that it's gray in there, because I feel like stained glass windows were invented because people were separated from nature, and it's supposed to like filter the light as if you're in the forest, to feel connected with nature, feel connected with God. But here the nature is gray, so they don't need them. That's how I interpreted that. I heard that in school. I heard that in my environmental security class. That's where I heard that before. There was one stained glass part, and it was next to a palm tree. And I was like, this is not Icelandic, this palm tree. And then the other thing I noticed was that they're Gothic arches. I don't know if you remember the other EF trip. The tour guide kept talking about Norman arches versus Gothic arches. Yeah, they're pointy. Yeah. So the pointy Gothic arches are not... So the Normans, the Vikings were the Normans. Norman arches are Viking, but these are Gothic arches. So I would just say more Germanic, yes. So to me, this church is like a fusion of cultures. I don't want to say like a loss of culture, of Viking culture. I'll say a fusion. Yeah. That's what I thought when I went in. It's nice. Okay, so you have the Viking sagas. You have Eric's saga. Leif Erikson discovered Canada. And what I interpreted from the museum was that Leif Erikson discovering Canada, modern day Canada, was basically considered a legend because it's in the saga, and not considered true until the 1960s, whenever they found Viking artifacts in this place with a French name in Canada. It basically proves that the sagas were true, or at least that saga, that the Vikings really did go to modern day Canada. And now we have Leif Erikson.
I returned to my rental car and joined the EF tour bus. I was happy that EF called and made sure I was safely in Iceland. I prioritized safety, but I was bummed at my loss of freedom. Bummed because with the tour bus, we could only go to destinations with other tour buses, which is fine, but I had thought that if there were tourists in my photos, I can't take photos. I see now I probably should have had a different attitude. Like, look at this drone shot I got when the tour bus stopped at a turnout. We crammed a lot of destinations. Boom, next stop. These hot springs were cool though.
There's a lot more people.
Boom, next stop.
Here we are at Gullfoss, the Golden Waterfall. This waterfall was going to become a power plant, and this woman saved it. Bit of history for you.
Boom, next stop, Secret Lagoon.
That secret lagoon is less crowded.
Yes.
Which it's like, it could be better depending on your point of view.
Yeah.
More off the beaten path. But Blue Lagoon obviously is Instagram famous.
Like the classic.
Yes, but Secret Lagoon's less crowded. Yeah. At Blue Lagoon, that's really loud. At Blue Lagoon, I overheard people saying Secret Lagoon is better. And I agree. It's less crowded. The locker room is not as luxurious, but there's less people. So I agree, this place is better, but it's harder to get to. Blue Lagoon is closer to the airport.
I'm going to show you anyways, because actually really want to go. Yeah, that's not I'm going to remember it.
Here we are at the famous black sand beach on the south coast. Today's an uncharacteristically calm day. I seriously cannot believe how lucky we are with this weather. It's been sunny and beautiful in Iceland all week.
It was beautifully calm today, but most days it looks like this. In these conditions, they say, never turn your back to the sea, because a sneak wave may take someone out. I was disappointed by the crowd at the beach. I even thought about leaving my camera in my bag, but I still got my picture. We went to a few other places that day. It was really difficult to get footage, so off to the next day. Today was a free day. Most of the other tour group stayed in Reykjavik, but I already explored, so I booked another tour bus with Arctic Adventures.
There are many? Where? I wish I had a tripod.
This was another day packed with many destinations, but I wouldn't have seen these if I had not booked this tour. We visited this beach that had these stones, historically a Viking test of strength.
The crown jewel of the peninsula is this mountain called
That was the last day of my trip. Since I traveled alone, I definitely played it safe on the tour buses, and I felt that the tour buses really prevented me from absorbing the wild that Iceland has to offer. And that was the end of my trip. A few months after my trip, I saw a story that the cliffs at the black sand beach were completely destroyed by the powerful ocean that they warn you to never turn your back. At the time of my trip, I was so bummed about the crowd that I basically turned my back on the experience. But now I feel incredibly lucky that I got to visit the beach before the cliffs were gone forever. It taught me to stay present and appreciate every travel experience for what it is, because we never know how quickly a place can change. I'm happy that I learned this lesson, and I hope to never turn my back on a moment again.
You see these rocks? All these rocks right here? Very slippery, be careful.